do you have anything that you miss from the 90s?
I have one that's very funny.
Yeah.
I'm missing Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, oh, JTT.
Pizza time. Pizza time. Pizza time.
You late? Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Oh my goodness, what's going on? Like,
What's
what is this?
happening?
Whoever's watching this right now is freaking out probably a little bit. What's going on? We got Alex. You're in Texas. You're not in the studio.
I am not in the picture of the Shelby. It's all gone. I'm in El Paso, Texas, my hometown.
In El Paso.
And
Oh wow! I was gonna ask that. I was like, you're not in your normal
He's
spot.
not.
Yeah, I'm in El
He's
Paso,
not.
Texas. Yeah,
No.
you're gonna love it because Ed, I'm just gonna send you a picture right now that you can share.
Oh, really?
With me.
Okay.
My setup is very, very funny. Ed knows I love a particular show, so currently to get my laptop to the view it needs to be, it's coming through now, Ed, but you'll be able to see it in a couple seconds.
You text me?
Yeah, I texted it to you.
Okay, I got it. So Alex is a huge fan of Supernatural.
That was the one with those two guys, right? Those
Oh my God.
were they brothers?
Yes, they're
were they
brothers.
brothers?
Yeah.
Two brothers
Yeah.
trying
Sam
to like
Dean.
kill vampires.
Aired on the
Yeah.
CW, or
I
was it
remember
the
that show.
WB still at the time?
The C-Dubs.
Came out.
Actually,
That's an old ass show.
I have season 1 through 4 here, and that was all WB TV at that time.
Is this DVD or is this VHS, my man?
These
That
are
looks thick
DVDs.
enough to be VHS. Look at that shit.
Guys, I got to describe to the viewer, to the listeners,
It's like-
this Alex got 3 DVDs stacked under his laptop to
Or
elevate.
4. I think it's 4.
That's what it's for, right? To
It's
elevate
4.
the mic. 4. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
His
4
new
seasons of
G14 laptop.
Supernatural, not just DVDs, not single ones. 4 seasons.
I'm gonna put the graphic up. He sent
Yeah.
me, so I'm gonna put
Okay,
it up.
good. So people listening at home,
This is
it's one of those times when you're having a Zoom call and the computer's just not high enough to get that good angle,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Exactly.
That's the most. That's
Exactly.
it.
So you got to find something to stack under it. Some old
Yeah.
encyclopedias,
You gotta do what you need to do.
DVD
You need to get
seasons.
whatever you need to get.
right?
I've seen people use
works.
bowls from the kitchen.
Yep.
You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's risky. I'm not like it depends on
Yeah.
that computer. You know,
Yeah, wait a
if it's a
minute.
Chromebook or whatever, so
Yeah.
just let it fall.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
hilarious. I'm gonna post this for sure. But now you had this at your home, I assume. This is like just sitting.
Yeah,
in your old
my mom still
room.
has the DVDs. No, they're like stacked over in like the DVD section of
I
the
love
house
it.
or something.
Easily
Yeah, I mean, my
accessible.
room
I would
is-
have the same
my
thing
room
for
is
Lost.
tiny.
I could pull out my Lost collection right now if I wanted to.
So you see how dedicated these guys are. They'll make it happen no matter where they're at.
Speaking of Lost, you were the first one to put me onto Lost. If you remember that, you
Lost,
watched it
Lost.
and then you fell off hella fast. Like you just fell off hard.
They never
And I stuck
explained
with it for 6
the
years.
bear good enough. But okay, but that's besides the point. So
Who's this person we're talking? That's this third person.
Yes, let's
let's
acknowledge
get
you.
focus in. Let's hone in before we get too wild.
We just never name you for the rest of the episode.
Oh, shit,
All right,
We can do that. We'll just do never name me, and I'll just be
Never name
popping
her,
in
yeah.
every now and then.
I like it.
The guest. No,
The guest.
Yeah.
Oh, you could be the guest,
be
and we
the- I
just
can be the
never
guest.
name him for like.
you guys
years.
can figure it out later.
No. We can't do that. That's a huge disservice to you, my man. Okay, so we'll introduce you now. Everybody, first of all, this is the very first time we are having a guest
Yes, I'm
on
honored.
Pizza Time, baby.
Thank
This
you,
is
thank you.
everybody. This is Gino Francisco. This is one of my oldest
Yeah,
friends. No, you
you gave
are
the
my
full
oldest
name.
friend. You're my oldest friend. You're my best man. This is my dude. This is my brother. I've known this guy since before we were in kindergarten, even. We
Right,
took
right.
karate classes together. He's a great musician. He's he runs the 10 Planet in Daly City, which is a MMA gym. He's a black
Ooh.
belt in jiu-jitsu specifically. Yep. This guy, so watch out. And he's a humongous freaking nerd. Star Wars, probably the biggest thing.
Big nerd, big nerd.
MCU, just
Me-
like us.
Me and Ed grew up talking, debating all this stuff.
You did.
You know,
Long time. Yeah.
you know what's Ed probably doesn't remember. Like I think we
Okay.
met in karate class, and then we saw each other again at our first intro day at kindergarten, right? And I'm like, oh, hey, we know
Oh,
each other
okay.
from kindergarten, right? We know each other from karate class, right? And then the
Uh-huh.
last final straw was me and him had the same shoes.
We did?
We had SpiderMan shoes. The Velcro. I remember this distinctly.
Get the fuck
We
out.
both had SpiderMan shoes, those Velcro, stitching.
I had those
ones,
shoes.
You had those
right?
too?
And me and him were like, oh snap.
What a day.
We best friends now. We went to karate class. We're in kindergarten, and we got the same shoes.
Yeah.
This is the nerdiest moment of this day.
You don't remember
for
those?
sure.
You remember
Yeah.
those shoes, right? I remember.
I don't remember that. I even had
you
those
had
shoes.
those shoes. I remember looking.
I'm
at
not
your ass like,
surprised.
oh damn, those shoes are sick. But
that's great. Oh man, dude, I've never heard you say that. That's
an old story.
Awesome.
But you know, again, the nerdism goes long time.
Well, now we have a
deep.
trifecta of dude, we need to do the Spider-Man costumes for like Halloween. Like we need to each take one. That'd be so sick.
The
No Way Home costumes. That'd be so dope.
I know about getting into the. I've always dreaded thinking about getting into that skin tight cloth, like getting compressed and everything. But
I mean, arguably though, you are the most fit to do so out of.
I'm saying
Out
I've
of the
seen those.
three,
Out of the three for sure.
Those
Yeah.
ones I want to make sure I do it justice though. Because if it's putting the Spider-Man suit on,
Has
I'll
Alex
look
actually worn a Spider-Man costume? Have you, Alex? Have you ever
When I
dressed
was
up
a
as Spider-Man?
kid?
You
I
did.
never did. I never
actually
Spider-Man.
did either. I never did. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
was
curious.
like, I was Spider-Man once. I was a Magi once, which we'll get to later.
You were a Magi?
That's a Magi.
You motherfucker. Oh, you beat me in the fandom for the Mummy, man. Is the Mummy, the movie The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
They're like the protectors of
Armis Gray, I think.
Wait,
is his name.
Was that continued in the rest of the Mummies?
Yeah,
movies?
yeah.
Okay,
It's,
I'm about to say.
Oded-
I remember it from
Oded
that one.
Fair. Oded
I don't
Fair,
remember it.
great
I only watched
actor.
the first one.
Armis Bay.
You didn't watch like Returns? You didn't have to watch the third one. But
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Were the Magi in the dragon one? The Dragon Emperor?
No, it was just
They
his
weren't, right?
dumb son and him.
Oh, dude,
And
Alex,
those,
that's
like,
epic.
big
Can you
yellow
please send
things.
me a picture of that? That is
I'll try to
epic.
find one. Yeah.
You win all my points for that one, dude. That's fucking great. Magi.
Yes.
What a
Yes.
baller, freaking what a niche thing to do. Anyways.
And
This is
similarities
great.
here are insane. But yes.
Look at this chemistry we're already having, man. This is great. This is perfect. All right. We have some so what we're doing today is we're gonna go through some news, just very minor stuff. Honestly, not a lot happened this week in the movie world in terms of news, but we got something on Kevin Feige and the new Star Wars film that Marvel is it Marvel? No, it's not Marvel Studios, it's Disney.
Star Wars.
He's just
it's Lucasfilm, yeah, technically.
it's Lucasfilm
Yeah.
and he's manning it. Okay. Well, we'll get into some news about that. And then we're gonna wrap up the news segment with a little bit of news of Multiverse Madness and how that's doing at the box office. We've all seen it. Also, obviously, spoilers. If you haven't seen it, I mean, come on, get yourself together. It's the MCU movies. Big fans only watch it week one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah, and anybody now who hasn't seen it probably doesn't even really care. They'll probably just be spoiling this. But so those are two movie news, and then for the rest of the episode, we're gonna do a special. I guess I love the '90s kind of segment where we talk about '90s movies, '90s nerdom, '90s shows. Food, whatever, just like because we're all products of the 90s, we're all babies of the 90s. So we're just gonna get into it because that's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a cool thing to talk about.
First time we've ever done.
Do you guys remember those VH1 shows that I love?
Yeah, I love those shows.
The 70s, 90s.
Yeah.
I
love those shows.
Those things were. I always loved those too. But a lot of the stuff they put me on that I wasn't born for.
Yeah.
Or, like was too young for in the 90s. So use that to reference stuff to go back and like, oh damn, this was significant. Like.
All about it. Milestones of those years and stuff like that. Absolutely. Yeah, that was a brilliant show, to be honest. Like whoever came up with that concept,
they would cut them up like
funny people talking about jokes. Like stuff from the past. Like that is a brilliant idea.
Random celebrities. Dee Snider was, I don't know if that's another thing.
Wow, what a nice pull.
That's a random
you really remember
Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. That but that's
oh my God.
He was always on that.
Yeah,
he was on all of them.
He was funny. What can I say?
If those are still going, literally every host at Rotten Tomatoes would be on that show.
Yes. Oh, Mike, you're right.
I don't mean it in a negative way. So if any of our hosts listen to that.
No, we said we liked it. I mean, we kind of have our own. We have our own show in a sense. Year in review. It's not exactly like that, but it's similar, right? Yeah, but for movies,
pretty similar. Yeah.
Go watch it on Peacock. Year in review. It's great. Anyways, okay, let's get started with the news, Alex. I work for them. You don't. You don't work for them anymore. I'm going to push to them. So let's start on with the news. Let's start off with the Kevin Feige Star Wars news. Gino, you're a huge fan of Star Wars. Yes, I know that's like your biggest IP. We've watched a few of them together. Mm-hmm. But actually, Alex, why don't you throw to it? Because I know you've kind of read into it more.
Yes. So Kevin Feige, for those that don't know, he's going to be, the person who's in charge of all the MCU. He's actually taking on a new, fresh, original Star Wars movie. And he's dropped some plot hints because the guy who wrote Multiverse of Madness will also be writing this movie. Michael Waldron. He's a Rick and Morty guy. Anyway,
he's writing this too.
Yeah, he's writing this too. So
he's also writing. What other MCU
Fantastic Four?
He's writing Fantastic Four. He's writing this too.
So we better get used to him. We may not have loved some, we may not have loved some of the Doctor Strange stuff. But anyway, he's writing it, and he's basically teasing that it's going to be a wholly original movie, and that they're starting to very, very get into it with the team at Lucasfilm, and they're stressing fresh. So for me, what I hope that means is, as Ed knows, Gino, you're about to find out, I hate the Skywalkers. I'm done with them. I don't need them anymore.
I remember you talking about that on that last episode about the Mandalorian, which no, isn't that sorry?
No, it was. You're right.
No, it was the Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett.
See, that's where the issue goes too. Is like it's basically the continuation of the Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett is like a chapter, really.
Right.
But I hear you. I mean, I heard your points, and I'm not mad at you for it. You know, Skywalkers kind of are a thing.
I was,
but again, for me. Yeah. For me, I got a deep respect and love for them because it's like the story I grew up with. So,
would you would like to see them forever? Is that fine with you?
I don't want them to be eliminated, obviously, from the timeline, which they can't.
No, of course
the
not.
History of Star Wars will not make sense without them. But
let's rephrase the question: would you be okay with a Star Wars movie that doesn't have any semblance of the Skywalker saga?
Any of this?
No,
at all.
At all.
So how could you? Because like Rogue One, how much Skywalker did it have in it, right?
Well,
I love Rogue One.
You had Leia in there at the end.
It's
literally tied to A New Hope.
Right?
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Can you make that possible? Because Star Wars really hasn't had a film that's not connected to any Skywalker timeline. Because the whole Empire, all that stuff is a Skywalker, it's a effect of what happened with the Skywalker family, like, so the universe, unless they can come up with another storyline, like, I don't know, something about the Ewoks or something like that, there's not going to be any
Ewok show.
That sounds awful.
My wife loves the damn Ewoks.
Awful.
She would like eat that up. Kids would love it if they made
kids
some
would love
animated show with the Ewoks.
Did they not have an animated show
with the Ewoks? Did they not have think so.
No.
Star Wars. If you're listening,
why am I remembering?
That's my idea. Okay.
Why am I remembering like Ewok animation in my head? I feel like I've seen a scene in my head.
Star Wars animation goes as far as the Clone Wars, right? I mean, I don't know what much else.
I'm thinking something like older.
Rebels, and then they had that. Didn't they have that other one?
Clone Wars Rebels.
But that's the same type of animation, right? It's not. They haven't done like a.
Oh yeah,
like a 3D. It's like a 3D animation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not.
So I mean, going back to it, Star Wars would have a difficult time standing alone without having that.
Yes, right. So you think it might have a bit of a uphill battle if it didn't.
It could happen, but again, the writing has to be on point, and they have to kind of just stick with something else that's part of the Star Wars universe that's not going to require that Star Wars timeline.
Ideas.
The Ewoks was one, but another one would be the.
That was the big one. That was the one you've been saving in your pocket.
Well, a timeline.
I want to see a story about these dudes. They're like hobbits.
Because all my favorite characters are mostly the Jedi.
They are like
you can't really tie. It has to be no Jedi then, basically, because the Jedi.
No Jedi.
No,
that's you can't have no Jedi.
If you go back to what was the Old Republic game?
Yeah, Old Republic.
I never played it.
Everybody was been wanting that for a long time.
Did that have Skywalker stuff attached?
No Skywalker mention. It's just like old Jedi and cinematics.
Yeah.
If they did a movie like that on Old Republic,
everybody's been wanting it, but I don't. They were talking about it, and I don't know if it's gone through yet. Right?
So like, Star Wars has 3 current movies. Oh shit, 4 current movies. They have the terrible Patty Jenkins idea, which I don't think anybody wants.
Well, that's on hold, right?
Yeah, they got put. Wonder Woman 84 came out to like.
Hopefully
hang on a second. Anyway, they have Taika Waititi's doing one, and then they have another one that they have the Kevin Feige one, and then the last one is the Game of Thrones writers. Do you remember that?
Right. When
something
they were supposed to develop something,
and I think they were developing the Old Republic.
I think that's not canceled. That's canceled though. Yeah, I think that is canceled. Yeah, that happened right off season. What was it? Season 6 or 8 of Game of Thrones.
The final season. Whatever it was. Yeah.
And then everybody thought it sucked. So they were like, maybe we shouldn't have these guys. Were you a Game of Thrones watcher?
Yeah, I did.
You were
up to season 5.
Okay.
So I'm the type of guy who, when I watch a show, I get real impatient waiting for next week for the next one to come out.
Oh, sure.
So I try to wait for the show to end and just binge it afterwards. I know it's kind of cheap.
That's hard. No, yeah.
It's hard, and you try to just like go with it. And then I'm kind of happy with Game of Thrones the way it ended. That's another thing. That's another story for another day. But
you said you were happy or weren't happy?
I was happy that I didn't continue to watch after season 5.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Because I heard the way it ended.
Gotcha.
So then that made me like, maybe I'll wait on binge watching on binge watching it because it's time commitment. But again, going back to the Star Wars thing.
Anyway,
there's a lot of ways you could do Star Wars if we did something outside of the timeline. But I have a feeling anything they do will tie into that storyline eventually. Because it's just so nostalgic. It's so significant. So they could, though. They haven't started that path. No, not that I've seen.
Yeah. No, so to be clear, the news is that this new Kevin Feige Star Wars is wholly original. That's what the headline is.
Yes.
Is that
let's go. I'm down to see it.
Completely not tied to any existing like IP canon in Star Wars.
They didn't say that.
Oh,
they just said it's wholly original and fresh. Okay. That Lucasfilm is giving them creative
freedom.
Okay, so that's more specific.
Let's go. Okay. I'll see it.
So
100% I'll see that.
CGI Luke is probably going to pop up somewhere, or CGI Harrison Ford.
No, I think, and you'll ask you, Alex. Yeah. But I think it's a great idea. I'm super excited for it because I think a lot of people are basically going like, can we just do something completely new? Something that both the heavy fans and casual fans, all the fans across the spectrum can just be, there's no weight for anybody to like pull on, right? It's new for everybody. This is a playing ground for everyone to have an opinion on, and so we don't have the freaking Star Wars fanatics going nuts, going like, no, our thoughts were better. Your thoughts were better. This sucked because of this book was here. It's like, okay, shut up. Like, let's do something completely different. I think it's smart. And this is what Kevin Feige does, right? He's the guy who can take the risks or is willing to take the risks, do the things that other studios are not willing to do because they just don't have the experience to do it. And he does. So it's like, go for it. The track record that he has, I'm sure it's going to be good. It's got to be good at the very least. So what are your thoughts, Alex, on it? Considering, I'm sure you're thrilled. What do you think?
Yeah. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan to begin with, but I think it'll, as long as it's fresh and original. Like, I didn't think The Mandalorian was going to be great, and that's turned out to be great. Book of Boba Fett was a different story, but there's parts of Book of Boba Fett that were fantastic, I would say.
Yeah, the ones that were not really about Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. The Tales of Tatooine were the fantastic bits of that. Anyway,
that's still really great.
I like Boba Fett. That's my guy. When he killed that desert monster, bro, he threw that chain over the neck.
That was great.
Stepped on the back.
That part I liked.
Pulled it out.
That was
dope. But again, the story wasn't the strongest. But
no, they get caught up in the politics a lot instead of just making it just going. Sometimes I feel like in Book of
also
Boba
it's
Fett.
a poor politics story too. At the same time,
exactly.
Yeah, so they could have been better.
Yeah, what's next? What's next on the news?
Well, let's move on to the next bit of news. Multiverse Madness, second week out. We just had its second opening weekend this weekend. Oh, it's Saturday right now, so let's continue. But the news is that it's made $500 million at the box office over the last 2 weeks, which is nice. That's a good chunk of change. It's obviously made its money back. It's not a surprise. Like, if anybody knows the MCU, that is a proper opening. It also had the 10th biggest opening weekend domestically of all time. So that's a great thing. And so I guess the news is like, well, here's the question. We were pondering whether or not the movie would actually cross the $1 billion mark, which No Way Home did earlier or late last year. And we thought that perhaps this could, just based off all the trailers and the hype behind it, that this could be even bigger than No Way Home.
Nah.
You're seeing our faces already. Well, on the tomato meter,
Strange it was not on kids' shoes when in the 95 like SpiderMan was.
No, that's true.
Doctor Strange. Kids weren't looking for. Let me get the Doctor Strange costume. SpiderMan
now.
It might be, but
now.
the kids don't relate to Doctor Strange. As
No,
much
they
as they
don't know
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange.
Spider-Man, you know,
No.
obviously that's
well,
a heavy
one is that
favorite.
Spider-Man was also obviously a kid like every other kid too.
Exactly.
It made them,
exactly.
It made
All
more
those
relatable.
factors.
Strange was an older
Damn
doctor. What the fuck kind of kid would want to listen to this dude? But you know, Multiverse of Madness on the tomato meter right now, 74%. Still not certified fresh, mind you. I don't know why. It has 344 reviews.
It's 74%.
Wait, what's the certified? Oh, 77.
75. How long have you worked there?
Yeah, bro, you should know that. What the hell? Why is he answering that question?
75
is it 75?
is certified
75.
fresh.
Sorry,
Yeah, and
75.
if it drops below that, then it's just fresh.
Doctor Strange
will
isn't
not be
fresh.
certified fresh.
Doctor
It will
Strange.
not be
Doctor
certified
Strange
fresh.
will not be certified
What if
fresh.
he gets more reviews and they're fresh?
No. Oh, it's at 344. It's unlikely at this point that it will.
Dude, that was a good movie.
Yeah.
I'm tripping.
I mean, 74 is not a bad score by any means, but here's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Here's what's interesting. At 74%, it is going to be, I believe, the fifth lowest scoring MCU film of all time out of 28 films. Yeah, at 70. So that's both kind of like a backhanded compliment. Like it's that shows that the MCU's record has been great. That being said,
Right.
it's also it's in the bottom. It's in the bottom ranking of that all 28 films, which is, I mean, not surprising depending on how you felt about the movie, but that's also surprising considering, like, you know, I think most people thought it was still pretty good, but there's only
I loved it.
2 other movies below that is fresh, or no, 3.
And I was talking to you earlier this week about it and let you in on it, Gino. I said the more I think about it, the worse the film is. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Oh, when you sit on it, you don't like it.
When you sit on it, I mean, I still enjoy. There's parts of it I still really enjoy, and like the Ramy parts are really great. It just felt like it is a big narrative mess, and I do think the film would have been much more successful had it come out right after WandaVision.
Yeah.
And
So let me ask,
what
what were your expectations of it coming in? Like, were you like,
Oh,
this is
pretty
going to
big.
be
way
game
too
changing?
high.
Yeah, see, that's the same
way
thing
too high.
happened with my wife. My wife loves Doctor Strange, the first one. Couldn't get enough of watching the first Doctor Strange, right? And like, I think that first Doctor Strange was so impressive and exceeded our expectations so much because no one had any expectations.
That's true.
Going to that first
I
Doctor
think we
Strange,
can all
right?
say that exceeded all of our expectations.
Dude, Doctor Strange, I still think
It's
he's
great.
underrated. A lot of the
He
guys,
is underrated. He's great.
a lot of the people here, I mean, a lot of the fans, they're not clamoring for Doctor Strange as much as I think they should because of the way the first movie showed how powerful he is, the way the graphics were, all that stuff.
Agreed.
It just made it such a incredible superhero because of that first movie. And then I don't think anything before that had any like real significance. I know Strange there were some things back in the day with Doctor Strange, but he was never that popular of a character.
Yeah.
But when Benedict came in and then made him that smooth, silky like doctor, like with the arrogance.
You know, one of the things why I believe, to jump off what you're saying, why it kind of made the first Doctor Strange so
Incredible.
good, even on a narrative level, is that they gave him one of the Infinity Stones to control. Like no other superhero before that had that narrative tie to the larger thing, and to actually be able to use the Infinity Stone under some sort of control, right? That was really cool.
Yeah.
Like, so to jump into Infinity War from that was just like, that's pretty sick. And he's just a cool character in general. And it's a good movie. It's just a good ass movie.
I have a bad feeling about the third one though, but we'll see. We'll see
if there's is there a third one?
There has to be. There's
He's
gonna
a
be.
good character for 10 more years.
Well, that doesn't mean that he could keep showing up
I mean,
in
I
other
hope
movies.
I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know how the third one's gonna be.
And also, let's be honest. I know one of my coworkers said this the other day, brought it up, and I thought it was perfect. I'm like, this is more so a Wanda movie, honestly. Like
it is.
Yeah,
it's more, and it could have been better out probably as a Scarlet Witch movie. It could have been
Strange
better.
And the Scarlet Witch, right? You guys talked
I
about
think
that.
that should have been the title. Yeah.
Now that you said it, that would have been such.
You guys said it last time. I mean, I understand because
I guess we said that last time.
Yeah. Such a significant. Last time. Because I'm a listener, guys. I got you.
All right,
I got you on the back.
Damn.
But yeah, I definitely agree with that point. Is the movie had so much Wanda.
It did.
Easily could have just been a split.
I agree.
I do feel that, as you know, we can finish up Doctor Strange here. I think that in like 5 to 10 years, like we'll look back on it as an Age of Ultron type of film.
It probably will be.
Opens up the multiverse, the way other characters and other themes were introduced. I think it will be looked upon like that and be like, oh, we were all a little wrong. But as right now, too much Wanda, too little Doctor Strange for my
That's a great point. I do have the same feelings that I had after watching Age of Ultron from this movie, where it's like, I didn't love everything about it at all. Some of it I really didn't like, but it was, again, they're both not terrible movies by any stretch of the imagination. And that, you know, I think Age of Ultron actually grew on me more as I watched it. That being said, I am having the opposite reaction like you, where every time I think about this movie, the more I'm not liking it. Even more. So I don't know.
But you're liking it as time goes on, or
Doctor Strange at the moment. Multiverse Madness is something that, as I think about it more, I'm not liking as much. Age of Ultron, something that aged better for me. But we'll see. Like you said, I don't know. Well, it might.
We'll see.
Yeah, it has that. I always related to the X-Men 3, The Last Stand effect. The Last Stand effect. I hated The Last Stand when it came out because, you know, I can talk about it.
Of course. Oh yeah, no, you can talk about it.
Tread lightly here.
You know, because remember, who is it? Was it Jean Grey who passed? No, Jean Grey. She died in the X2, right?
No. She X3. She's the main person.
No, but she comes back in X3, but she died technically because she got
drowned.
You
mean Jean, and not Phoenix.
X3, they took out Cyclops. Right. Who was it? Xavier?
Cyclops.
Did they take out Xavier?
Yeah,
too?
Xavier dies.
They killed
in that
all
one.
of them out, and I was so upset after that movie.
Right,
you know?
right.
But now watching After Days of Future Past connects it all together. I'm like, okay, it's all good now.
That,
you know?
Exactly. That's
so
a
it had
great
that same
point.
kind of effect. Like one time you watch the movie initially, like I can't believe it, and then 10 years later, after all that resentment, you're like, oh, okay, it made sense now.
I will say, I never actually hated The Last Stand.
I did. I didn't hate it. I was so upset. I didn't have any foresight on, or I didn't think about the future. Yeah. Like, hey, they're gonna bring him back eventually. It's just
first of all, I think it's safe to say too, they didn't have a plan like Kevin Feige did. They just got lucky with Days of Future Past.
When was that movie? X3 was 2000.
2007.
Okay.
Or 5.
Sounds right.
Sounds about right.
Well, no, that's a great point, because I wanted to bring up one of the things that happened to me with SpiderMan with No Way Home.
Okay.
Me and Alex don't exactly love Homecoming and Far From Home.
Right.
But after No Way Home, you either. Okay. But after No Way Home, I found a better appreciation for what they did because of having seen where it was going to go. Like, oh, No Way Home is like the true or this whole thing, these 3 movies were like the origin story for this Peter Parker. And seeing it in that way, I was like, okay, then I kind of have more respect for those 2, even though I didn't like them the first time. So I feel like this could possibly be that as well. Okay. I guess it just depends on what happens, which is, again, that's a crazy thing to think about now. That's how kind of superhero movies work.
Yeah.
Like, when they're interconnected.
You got to set up the great ones with some. It's like other ones that just are kind of filler movies. Yes. I don't know if that's the right term.
It's like comic book. It's like comic books. It's the same thing. I mean, I've never read the comics, but I would imagine it's the same thing. Like, you read a comic, maybe you didn't love it, but you knew something was coming down the line.
There's a greater timeline at stake.
Yeah.
We're going to give them this
things. They could, story, down the line. So it's crazy that basically slipped into the movies now. So
I mean, look, I think Strange is going to top out at like 800 million, which by all means is still a success.
Alex, you said it could probably top at 800. I'm gonna say 7. I'm gonna go lower. Just I think it's gonna do 750. I think I'll do 750. I think it's gonna lower a little bit.
Think about it. There isn't another movie worth paying admission to for general audiences till
you have Top
May
Gun
27th.
Coming though. Yeah, that's 2 weeks. I mean, okay, 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks.
Right.
Worldwide.
But it's gonna drop. You're right. Maybe about 20%.
It's gonna drop. What are you talking about? Uncharted was number one.
No. I mean the ratio at which it will. So I think you're right. Because if it stays at the same trajectory, you could easily go to $1 billion. But if it's going to slightly slump every week, like 2 weeks from now, you're right. Probably 800. I'm still going to go 750 just because I have a feeling.
Do they announce when they're going to take the movie down or put it on Disney Plus?
I mean,
or do they just pop? It just pops up when they feel like it.
In terms of announcing when it will be on Disney Plus, they do announce that. With the movie cycle though is kind of, it depends on that's up to the theater at that point.
Just making sure,
but they will announce when Multiverse is going to come on theater. I expect it to be up probably within the next 2 months. Honestly, at this rate,
August.
Things are coming up. Yeah, things are coming up a lot sooner nowadays. So probably 2 months you'll see it on Disney Plus. 2.5 maybe.
Yeah. I mean, the last one we had was Eternals, and it was on Disney Plus in January.
Yeah, that was quick. All those recent
turnaround.
release were quick, so that's why.
Well, because
Eternals was a flop.
it was a flop. So they're like, well, we got to get this out of theaters and into homes now because
This might be
we're not gonna
different,
make that money. Oh, fucking Eternals, man! God damn, I hate people for that movie, but it's fine. Anyways, okay, that is our
Eternals.
Wait,
Okay, I like the two, but
Before we move on,
yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just mention that? Of course, you two are friends. Gino likes X-Men: The Last Stand. Ed will fight anybody that says Dark Phoenix isn't good, which Dark Phoenix is ass. But,
I haven't watched Dark Phoenix yet. That's one I'm slipping on. Because I've heard
You haven't watched Dark Phoenix?
Because I heard reviews like Alex who said it's not.
Oh,
worth
we're gonna
it.
watch
Like,
that
don't
tonight,
watch
bro.
It.
We're watching that tonight.
Sometimes, but
it's so bad.
I think I've watched it twice.
I don't know. I got to see it.
I did see. I mean, I definitely saw more of the cracks the second time. I still fight that it's not a terrible movie,
Okay.
but
I'll check it out. Let's see how Cersei does as
Cersei.
Jean.
Cersei.
That's the wrong character.
No, it's not Cersei. She's
the wrong
what's her name?
person.
Yeah, that's you see. I didn't think.
What is her name? I actually don't know. What's her name though?
What's that? That's Cersei, isn't it?
No, Cersei's the other bitch, the fucking one.
the shame walk woman.
girl.
No,
the shame
that's
girl.
right. That's right.
They shave her head and shit. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
What is her name? I forget.
No,
Sophie Turner is her name.
Well, Sophie Turner's the actress, but what's the character in GOT? I forget.
Okay, so
Look it up. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Anyways, oh wait,
Sansa starts.
Sansa. Yeah.
Sounded like Splenda. Okay.
Splenda's actually that's like an interesting name. That's a cute
So
name.
going back, we got lost.
Well, no. Here, I wanted to bring something up. I have a little anecdote I wanted to share with you guys that I didn't talk about before because we're talking about MCU. So this is a true story. I'm not making this up. This happened yesterday. So as you know, I work for Rotten Tomatoes, and for we just did a Multiverse of Madness video. Okay, related video. After show. I produced that show. Watch it. We talked Multiverse of Madness, and one of the hosts, brought up Age of Ultron, as you do. That's fine. That makes sense, right? You would do that. So we had a social clip pulled from it that had the host saying that, and we sent it into captioning, right, for transcription. We sent it to Rev. It's a great service.
Okay.
And we had, before we send that off to social to use, we have to have editorial look at the transcript and make sure that the captioning is correct, right? So yesterday I sent it over, and our bud Ryan Fujitani, shout out to the best guy. He messages me and he goes, "This captioner just said translated Age of Ultron to Asian Voltron."
Asian Voltron.
Asian Voltron. How amazing is that?
How insulting.
This is one of the ways you know that it was not done in a place that was Rev like outsources their stuff, right?
Asian
so
Voltron.
Like now you know. Yeah, Asian Voltron. I have it here. I'm gonna put it up on screen. I just thought that was freaking hilarious. And
Voltron
now I can't unhear it. I can't unhear it when I hear Age of Ultron now.
But Voltron is Asian though, right?
Asian Voltron is a
Japanese show.
The captioner was on point.
Okay, good.
That's what I'm trying to say. It was wrong, but the translation's pretty freaking perfect.
Hella funny.
Say it, Asian Voltron, like over. It's like it just starts to bleed. Asian Voltron. Asian Voltron.
Okay.
Asian Voltron.
Oh my gosh.
Asian
That's pretty
Voltron.
good.
Yeah, it's
Asian
great.
Voltron.
And I was telling them to put it up on socials, and then people would start memeing that shit and like actually tagging us. That'd be freaking awesome. But I guess we're not doing that.
No, I'm not doing that. Okay.
Yeah, Jen, put the kibosh on that ASAP.
We're putting a stop to that.
All you would really have to do is put Voltron because it's Asian. So I guess that makes sense.
Go for it, man.
But it'd be really, I don't know. I just thought that
I'll be in the audience.
You know, just some things that make your week. That just made my fucking week on a Friday. That was the best thing I could have had. So good.
So what else we got for news?
No, news is over.
It's a wrap.
News is over.
It's a wrap on the news. Okay. So
I wish we had that now started with that instead of ending with it.
That's okay. I know
news wrap.
Wrap. I just want to make sure because
no.
That was okay. Cool.
Yeah,
so we got everything announced.
We're doing the main segment.
Yeah.
And this was voted in by you actually.
Well,
we're covering the 90s.
I figured we talk about a throwback episode, something that no matter where you're at, you could listen to. So it's not again like most of the episodes I try to watch with you guys that are the ones that I have watched, so I can keep up with your dialogue, right? But if you didn't watch stuff from the 90s, that's on you. We can talk about everything now, you know. Like
I like to think most of our stuff is hell yeah, we're talking 90s. No, we're all 90s babies.
Yeah.
Oh, we grew up in the 90s. This is like our wheelhouse for sure.
Yeah.
I think most of our.
How do we want to do this?
I got some questions if you guys want to start with that. I mean,
yes, came prepared. What can
Alex,
I say?
What year were you born, Alex?
1990.
Oh, so you're 90. We're all 90s.
We're all 90s. I told you.
Very good. Very good.
We're all the same age.
So we're all defined definitely 90s. Okay, so
we're all over 30.
Very good.
I feel like this is going to be a test too. It's going to start being a test of like what the hell we know.
Started off easy. Favorite 90s cartoons since we were all children at those days. Okay, so just doesn't have to be no particular order. Just
and from any cartoon
from the 90s though. It can't be anything.
No. Yeah, from the 90s. From the 90s
that we would know of. I would hope.
Yeah, I'm not going to say like any era.
Let me guess. I know what it is, Alex. I already know what it is.
Okay,
you gonna guess mine.
I know exactly.
My favorite one.
Your favorite all time in the 90s.
Okay, go for it.
Smurfs.
That's my mom's favorite. You got my mom's right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Your mom, exactly. That's right. His mom was a big Smurfs fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I'm just playing. That's not his favorite. What's your favorite?
Do you think you have it? No,
I have no idea.
No, my favorite is SpongeBob SquarePants. It just is.
Really, SpongeBob.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
This guy comes with SpongeBob out the gate.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, 98,
99,
right?
I think that came out. That's like the end of
90. Hold on, I need to double check that actually.
This is a good test too. We have to see what year.
I believe it was 90s though.
Yeah, it definitely was 90s, but I think it was like the tail end of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But it's one of those shows where you're not
original.
No, 1999.
Yeah, May 1st, 1999.
May 1st.
Okay.
You just got it.
So SpongeBob.
All right. Ed throws in SpongeBob.
How could you?
Is it still running? It's still running today, right?
Yeah.
Nowhere near as good as from what I heard.
Okay, so then, hey,
unbelievably,
bravo.
Going.
Strong. I feel it's a strong pick.
That was the fun.
I did watch a lot of SpongeBob when I was in the 90s.
I've ever known. Like
that 1 year.
The first couple of seasons are just gold.
Yeah, I think I got off it pretty quick, but I remember like the first time he meets like Sandy. That's pretty funny. Isn't that
I remember that episode. They go to the biome.
He go into the biome.
And he's dry.
Doesn't drink any water.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any water. And he's dying.
That's like that encapsulated like seeing your friends like later on in life, or like possible friends as an adult. I just thought that was hilarious. It's like
I need it.
Yeah, I need it.
I don't need it. I don't need it. That's terrible. Okay, Alex. I'll let you yours. Give me some favorites of the 90s cartoons.
Some ones that I love. Well, actually, my all-time favorite is Batman Beyond. There is not a greater show.
Love that
on
show.
Right on.
That was the sickest Batman.
It really is. It's definitely up there as one of the best. Yeah.
It was
voiced by Will.
Original, right? It was so crazy.
What's his name?
Friedel.
Will Friedle.
It was Eric Matthews.
Who was my man,
voicing Batman Beyond. I tried Ron Stoppable too. I tried to watch it again, Batman Beyond, when Disney Plus came out. It was just hard, like, man, it was
some like 90s tropes that like
it's so throwback. It is so 90s,
throwback,
but watching it today, it's just like it's not the same. It was just hard to watch it, like, because I knew I was gonna get deep into it, so I had to stop. I was like, okay,
that makes sense.
Let's not dive into this yet, But I love that show.
So cool.
Another one. Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, Dexter's! I hella forgot about Dexter's Lab.
That wasn't one of my favorites, but I did watch it. It's one of those shows you just kind of have on,
Yeah,
that's a good one though. No, I remember.
There's an episode where they like him and his entire family jump into robots, which is very similar to a Rick and Morty episode that just aired.
Yeah.
Oh, it is very Rick and Morty. I didn't realize that.
It's like Rick and Morty for kids.
Dexter was a psycho.
What's the name of the girl?
Debbie. Debbie was a psycho too, but she was a happy psycho.
There were a lot of psycho like psycho chicks in like early cartoons. There was always a psycho chick.
You know what I remember most from Dexter's Lab?
That's not problematic. I hear that. Fuck you guys. It's not problematic.
The one phrase you guys. Okay, I'm thinking of one phrase from Dexter's Lab. What is it?
Who's it? What character? Can you give me the character?
Omelette du fromage.
Oh, is that what the episode? They whisper it to the ear.
All he does, he can only say that one word for like it's what cheese omelet, right? That's the only thing he can say for the whole episode is omelette du fromage. And the girls just melt when he starts speaking it. Like they're like, oh my god, Dexter.
That's the one with the meme where it's like he's whispering to people.
That's the meme.
Close up to the ear, yeah.
But he's just saying cheese omelet.
This show's actually on HBO Max right now. That's crazy.
Dexter's Lab.
Yeah,
Dexter's Lab's still going too.
It's just weird that it's on HBO Max. That's just
it's a whole different animation though than when we were kids, but it's great.
It's new.
It's kind of like it's like
still going?
It's still
Dexter's Lab
going.
still going. It's
No
let
way.
me see.
Are you serious?
Wait, let me see.
No way.
There's an updated version. May not
Get the F out of here.
It may not be continuing right now, but I remember they updated the show into a
I
newer
don't remember
version.
that. Oh shoot!
I think
Mandark.
Yeah, I think
The
we're past
freaking,
watching the Dexter's
I
Lab,
remember
though.
that dude. The nerd.
Mandark. I
he's
was
right.
saying earlier,
Evil version.
the evil Dexter. Even though Dexter was pretty evil,
They rebooted it.
they did reboot it.
No, it came out as an animated movie in 2001.
Get the freak out of here! I didn't even know.
2021, not 2001.
Yeah, see,
It actually won some Emmy awards.
hey, that's a good. I applaud the Dexter's
Didn't
Lab
even know that.
pull.
That's a good pull.
one because I love that show.
That's a good pull.
What about you, Gino? I get it too.
Oh man, okay, so I have to go. This is again going back to bringing full circle. SpiderMan, the SpiderMan in the
animated series.
'90s.
Yeah.
Oh, the animated series.
The animated
yes.
series was what brought me to that super fandom, like that animated series. Seeing the Rhino, Scorpion, all of them in their
everyone.
crazy colored Green
Craven,
Goblin,
I remember
Hobgoblin,
Craven.
all of
Yeah.
those guys in the
Dude.
show.
Theme song was killer too. I love that theme
Yeah.
song.
X-Men 2.
Whatever that
X-Men,
is.
X-Men, Spider-Man. X-Men and Spider-Man. I was happy.
That
animated
Spider-Man series, when it ended with the Spider-Verse. Madam Web comes up, and
Yeah,
then,
that's right. That's right. Madam Web's
like,
in there.
Oh, really? I don't remember
Yeah.
that.
yeah, she has to recruit a bunch of stuff, and like the final episode is
Right.
he meets Stan Lee in the alternate version where Spider-Man's just a comic book character.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's in the 90s.
That's epic.
That's crazy. You
That's
remember?
epic.
I remember Madam Web. I don't remember the details of that story. I remember her in the show and
Yeah,
when
I
we were
remember
talking about
that, yeah.
Spider-Verse. That's crazy. But that show was like my baseline foundation
Yeah.
for Spider-Man. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's got to be a kid in high school, grows through like all those growing pains, all that drama, still having
Yeah.
to save the world at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's how you relate, to that growing up. Like it was really significant. X-Men was cool because they had all the characters as well. Like they had
Huge
so many
cast.
superheroes.
Yeah,
It's
huge
such a
cast of
big.
characters,
Like
yeah.
every week there was new superheroes and X-Men.
Yes,
and it was like,
right.
Oh, man, always exciting.
I mean, we could just
And
toss out Batman the animated series as well.
Yes, Batman 2. Batman had the villains.
Oh my God! How did we
Batman had-
forget about that?
Batman the
Yeah.
animated series.
Oh,
Kevin
Because
Conroy,
he
yeah.
brought out the Batman, because that
Conroy
was
Batman,
technically
dude.
a continuation of the Batman animated series, right? The Batman Beyond, what you were mentioning earlier.
Batman Beyond. Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah.
it's inherent with it.
Yeah. No, both great shows.
Because that was the same. I don't know if it was the same director or animators or whatever,
I'm
but
not sure.
it was the same storyline because it had the old Batman.
I think it
He
was
became like Alfred.
animators, yeah, because the animation style's pretty
I'm
similar.
sure it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was awesome though. Seeing that.
Did you guys watch
It's
X-Men Evolution when they came out? In
X-Men Evolution?
2000s?
I watched. Yeah, I did watch.
That
a little
wasn't
bit of it.
bad actually.
They were
I
in the
thought it was gonna be
dorms
terrible.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too
teenagers.
bad.
Okay, last one I'll throw for cartoons. And I'm not sure. This could have been 80s, but Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I was
Heavy,
waiting for
heavy,
that. I was
heaved
waiting for you to say that.
Heavy
Mhm.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You loved it. Yeah.
I would
you
go
loved
to
it.
the VHS store. It wasn't a Blockbuster. It wasn't a Hollywood. It was just a random
a
around
random
a corner.
VHS store.
Every week, try to pull out all the Ninja Turtle VHSs, and I'd be watching them nonstop. So, big fan on the animated.
I don't think I
cartoon.
ever went to one of those stores.
Yeah,
Is it as shady
You
in
were
my
a big
head as it sounds
Blockbuster boy.
like?
Edric was Blockbuster or go home.
It sounds like a super shady place. It
I
was
was
true
a
though.
Hollywood video kid, so yeah.
Hollywood. Okay, so we were talking about that too. Is like
God, with this
we
Hollywood.
don't even
I mean,
know
I
if there
too,
was
but-
more Hollywoods outside of the Bay, like where we live in Daly City.
Yeah, were there Hollywood videos in Texas?
Yeah, I was a Hollywood
shit,
video
so there
kid
was,
because
okay.
There was.
there was like one down the street from us where we grew up.
Hollywood.
Well, there you go.
Hollywood Video was on point when Blockbuster didn't have. what
Well,
you
of
needed.
course, they kind of just synergize with each
Yeah.
other, mutual sort
Good
of
old,
thing.
good old VHS days.
I
Okay.
gotta bring up one more though.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, this is just one of the.
No, sorry,
greatest.
Ed, you're capped on time. We
Okay.
gotta go. Go ahead.
like who does that to Matt Damon on Jimmy Kimmel?
Yeah, we gotta keep it moving.
I love that bit.
right,
last-
Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon!
I mean,
Dude,
fucking
how
A,
can you
man.
forget?
I mean, Pokemon just took everyone by storm.
I want to be.
I never watched the show. I only watched the movie.
You only watched the movie?
You never watched the show. You
There's
lied.
silence for
Oh,
kids.
he didn't watch the Butterfree
You
episode.
didn't- you didn't watch any of this,
my
Alex? Are you serious?
goodness.
I didn't watch the show. No, I mean I watched the movie where he's like he turns to stone and then Pikachu starts crying
Yeah,
on
yeah.
him and shit. Like that's emotional. Like I
You
was
gotta
like, why
watch
is
at
this-
least the up to the Butterfree episode, my dude. That
I
movie-
was I don't know if this was in the 2000s, but I was more of a Digimon fan.
Digimon's great. I love Digimon.
Edric loved Digimon.
I also love Digimon. I love
that movie. Was cool too.
It's dope.
Digital monsters. Digimon.
It's a more cool Pokemon. Like it's cooler. You know what I mean? Like it was slicker and kind of more punk.
I see that. It's like more it's more rock.
It was more rock. It was more rock while Pokemon was more like pop
music.
Yes.
But the thing was Pokemon took over like nothing else.
Oh yeah. Like it's still fire today.
Not like again, Marvel had its thing with the movies. Ninja Turtles had its craze with the young boys, but Pokemon took over everyone.
The
boys, girls.
Literally the world.
Man, child, like they were obsessed with Pokemon.
Everyone started knowing what the hell a Pokemon.
The cards.
Pokemon was.
Speaking of the cards, that's another thing.
I still have my thing.
All those stuff. So actually, so any last cartoons?
Those are my big ones.
Okay,
I could go on for a lot. I mean, I watched a lot.
Speaking of cards, it kind of.
Oh, wait! I want to throw one out. Just really quick. Jackie Chan Adventures.
That was the 90s?
Is amazing. Oh, wait, shit.
I don't know if
that was 2000s. That was the
90s.
Go look it up. Jackie Chan Adventures was a good show.
Okay, fuck it. But that show was fucking amazing. Anyways, keep going now.
There was that. Okay. So, speaking of cards, this one's going to be fun. Favorite 90s collectible?
That one's easy for me.
Ed just got a long list. 90s.
Fuck!
Sorry, Ed.
1 year.
Okay.
Close. Give it to it.
That's a foul. We're going to keep a score. That's a foul right there. You can't mention stuff outside of 90s.
I'm sorry. All right.
Okay. Ed, you are the one to start that off. Collectibles.
You have Mr. Collectible.
Your top collectible. You have so much shit. Look around. You guys can't see what's in this damn studio, but it's collectibles all over the damn place.
We talking about like money wise or like how much I love it?
I'm not going to say anything except you get to pick one.
I get to pick one to
pull from the 90s.
I mean, it's really not a question. That it's Power Rangers.
Oh, it's the Zords.
It's the fucking Power Rangers. I have a bunch.
Those Zords were.
Anybody who follows my whoever you've seen my room. I had a toy room.
Ed had a fucking stack, like 5 shelves worth of Zords, all of them. I'm like, bro, how did you get all of them?
I have video of this. I actually recently, if anybody who's following my my Instagram, I recently took all that out of storage. And I set them up here just to to sort it out. And it was wild. I have pictures. I have a whole table full of just Megazords, all the way up from like the original Power Rangers to probably about Dino Thunder or some shit like that. Like like almost every episode, every Zord ever made.
That's
some
like
other little shit too.
16 seasons in.
So it's a lot. It's a lot, and you've seen it. And that was easily my biggest collection of all time. 100%. Yeah.
Damn.
The Zords were heavy. Dude,
it was not a joke.
He would have dinner with the Zords.
I mean, come on.
He would go out to Red Robin and order them a plate of fries.
Hey, they're bottomless there.
May or may not happen. Alex, maybe you.
He's having tea parties with his Zords.
Yes.
I mean, maybe I did.
That was him. That was him when he was young. I remember.
I probably did. I loved Oreos. I probably shared my Oreos with them.
What did I collect? I don't think this is a 90s thing, but for me it was Hot Wheels.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Hot Wheels totally. I think every decade
that
Hot Wheels considered. Hot Wheels considered. Like, when did they start? Maybe
I gotta look it up, but that was definitely big in the 90s.
Yeah. But Hot Wheels are still hot to this day. My nieces and nephews get Hot Wheels. Like, hey, let's go. Throw that thing across the room.
I have kind of like Ed. I had buckets full of cars. Just buckets and buckets and buckets.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would play with them. I made fun of Ed, but I would set up a fucking garage and just put them all in order.
You had the little ramps and
I
everything.
did that with my.
Yeah, the ramps and
the.
Okay. You got to have
I
those.
can't find this year. Keep going. Or you know.
Yeah. What about you?
Okay. Collectibles. Well, my cousins were all big collectors. The thing is, I never got big into collecting myself.
Yeah, I don't remember you really collecting.
All my close friends, Edric and my cousins, were all obsessed with collecting. Like my Kuya Jeff had a room full. Kuya Joel, all them. My Kuya Mark has a closet dang full of stuff. Same thing. So I was like, man, I'm not gonna try to compete with these guys. It's just gonna.
They really, huh? They had their own collections. I've never seen.
They had kind of like the same way you had your collection with like Zords. They had it with like sports gear, sports cards. They had it with shoes. They had it with toys. All the stuff. They were big on both sports memorabilia and like superhero memorabilia, Jedi's, all Star Wars stuff. So they were just collectors, and they would flip collectibles all the time. So me. being like seeing all that and like kind of low key intimidated, like I don't know if I want to try to compete with these guys. I just kind of
you had to have a collection like
they did try to start me like they would give me
nerd.
toys and everything to start collecting, but I would just end up playing with them and not like saving them to stay put on the wall.
I would always play with them. Yeah,
exactly.
I would too. Yeah. I opened them. Yeah, I'm not the ones that like.
Edric would play with them at least. They were never in the box.
I don't 40-year-old virgin it. I don't. So I don't do that. No,
but the things that I did have, this is gonna be a fun one. Everyone knows Beanie Babies. That was the
god, dude.
Okay, Beanie Babies. We all thought we were gonna get rich off them damn things.
Everyone thought they were getting rich off of them.
Everyone thought, but now look at sorry, y'all. Those Beanie Babies at home collecting dust. I don't think they're going up in value.
My cousin was a humongous Beanie Babies collector.
Beanie Babies was big. I was asking Santa for Beanie Babies, and looking back, man, I was like, I should have. I could ask for a lot better stuff.
I think there are some that are worth a good money, like some, but not a lot.
Okay,
like selling their
Pogs. Y'all remember Pogs?
I didn't really fuck with Pogs.
Y'all remember Pogs? Those little things.
Yes.
Okay, those are little cheap things. You just had little basically like little coins.
Yes,
plastic.
Like
you just flip them. Yeah. I had a bunch of Pogs. I don't know where they're at anymore. I didn't have a lot. Again,
do you just buy a pack of Pogs, or they come in like cereal or something?
You'd buy them in a pack. And I don't think they come in cereal. But you just go to the store.
I didn't mess with.
Yeah, they're not that entertaining. You just like flip a Pog and try to flip one on top of the other, and it's like hooray.
I mean, it looked like a candy bar basically, but it would just be a bunch of these like plastic discs.
Right.
Yeah.
But I really never got into Pog.
I had a bunch of action figures.
You did, yeah.
But again, they were all inherited. All my action figures were pretty much I was handing downs from my cousins. So they were dinged up already. I would play with them. I would have everything. But the Beanie Babies, definitely we collected them, and the Pogs, I collected them, but it wasn't that big of a collection. Yeah. The only other collectible that I liked, but I never got. No, actually, sorry. When did the first episode 1 come out? Star Wars.
1998, 9. It's 8 or 9.
Oh, it might be 9 actually.
So so remember when they came out with those? They had these. I don't know if you remember. They had these action figures that they 99. had like a little standing thing. You'd put it on.
Yeah.
And then you plug into something else. It'd speak. It was an old Star Wars toy.
Okay.
That area that I had that was my biggest collection of action figures. I had like 4 or 5 of them, but that's not a lot. So
yeah.
But I know collectibles. I like them. I just don't have them. The ones I like the Zords the most, but I just don't have it.
Yeah, it's quite the investment in some ways for any collection. Obviously,
Edric was big on Gundams. We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, other than Power Rangers, I still had a lot of other collections, but the Power Rangers is the biggest. But I collected Gundams, Zoids. If anybody remembers fucking Zoids, probably no one.
I don't. Remember Beetleborgs?
Beetleborgs. I remember. I have a few of those. Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs.
No, I don't recall. I don't recall a Beetleborgs.
Yeah, Beetleborgs. Yeah, it was a group of 3.
Power Rangers, but
right? Beetleborgs.
Beetleborgs.
I thought you said board, like a board, like a
Beetleborg. No,
Beetleborgs. I remember these boards. Dude, I forgot about Beetleborgs.
Yeah,
Beetleborgs with the
Who remembers this? VR Troopers. VR Troopers. Anybody?
Sounds familiar.
Do you know who stars in that? Mr. Who's the middle Lawrence brother?
Matthew
Lawrence.
Dude, VR Troopers. I remember the show from the way it looks, but I don't remember it.
Wait. Oh no. Hold on. That's not. I'm sorry. That's not Matthew. That was Samurai. Isn't that? There's a Super Samurai one, right? Yeah, sorry. That's true. That is right. I did. That's not the one that Matthew Lawrence.
Wait, is that the one where he goes into like the computer and shit to fight computer viruses?
I'm forgetting if that's Matthew Lawrence or if it's this one. To be honest, I don't remember.
Was that a TV movie or was that a
Which one? No, it was a show.
It's a show.
Wait, which one? The one with Matthew Lawrence?
The one that Alex is referencing.
No, that's a show. That's definitely a show.
He jumps.
Yeah, it's a show.
I remember he had a superhuman samurai. That's the one with Matthew Lawrence.
Cyber Squad.
What the hell?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Dude, the Lawrence brothers owned the 90s, but they did some questionable stuff. like the Lawrence brothers. They were all over the 90s.
I love that movie, by the way.
Yeah,
Four Sense is great.
They were
they were everywhere. ABC. They were just they were 3 heartthrob brothers.
So Actually, one was Cyber Squad was the one they go into the computer and fight.
That is the one. Okay. Yeah.
By the way,
I vaguely
all these
remember
shows
that.
are just ripped off as Power Rangers because they're all the same formula. We'll just steal the action footage from the Japan show and recap doing it.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
That was it was a big boom in the 90s. I wish they'd bring that back.
I'm surprised neither of you guys said that you didn't collect, because I had a lot of friends that collected. My cousin did this. He would collect the Coke cans. Remember back then?
Oh, like I never did that.
Like it would be movie marketing, so you would get like on the side of the Coke can it would be Jar Jar Binks or the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, it'd be a picture.
Yeah. Dude, do y'all remember the Snapple lids?
With the facts?
No.
These Snapple bottles used to have the facts on the top on the lids. Right?
Oh no, I didn't know.
And my ass, I like the facts so much that I would save them. I had a little box of Snapple lids. It was hella funny because I'm the type to just pull up random info every now and then. And those Snapple libs, I still remember having those.
Weirdest collection ever, maybe.
Weirdest collection.
That is the weirdest.
I was a weird collector because I had a high bar set, so I was like, let me just stay down here. With the Pogs, Snapple lids.
I would have loved it if during our set, like during our time, so you just like pull out a Snapple and be like, "Hey guys, did you know?"
I used to collect the damn
during an awkward moment. You just
Sunday
pull it
comics too.
Wow!
One of
Sunday
our arguments, you just pull it out.
Because remember, they used to do newspapers a lot more frequent, than they used to. No one really does newspapers these days, right?
No,
I don't know anyone.
My
parents still get a newspaper, I think, but
seriously.
I think.
Wow.
Again, I'm not sure exactly, but I haven't seen a newspaper in a minute.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen a newspaper in a second.
They're all over.
Where did those go? They just disappeared.
You used to have stacks of them in your recycle bin,
I went to journalism school and I haven't seen a newspaper in.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's times are changing.
Times are changing. 90s.
Okay, so that'll transition. What is the most missed thing from the 90s?
I like this one. You asked me this last night.
What do you miss from the 90s?
Why don't you go first?
Okay, from the 90s, I do miss. To simplify it, I miss before we had any internet. That was cool. I mean, that was just kind of like, I wouldn't say I miss it like I want it now, but I miss that feeling of no one really being
not
sure
having access to
and having easy access to everything. And
you miss that. You miss that.
No, I think when you're a kid, I mean, when the internet came in our lives, 97?
Oh God, yeah, I was gonna say like 97.
Yeah,
I think it's just that time period I miss, like from 6 to a kid, and not having no stresses except like, who am I going to play with during recess? Like that time, the time before the 90s, I feel like just being young and having that ability to be free and not stress about because school wasn't really picking up that hard when you're 6. And like when you're like 8 and up, it starts getting real difficult with the multiplication, all that stuff. So
fraction.
And then we had to learn how to do the computers. We were typing and all that stuff.
We had computer class. I remember that.
But yeah, pre-internet was a good time.
Baby.
I just feel like 90 to 96 good years.
I agree. That's a great poignant point. I like that. I do kind of miss having no access to like every fucking thing ever.
I miss calling the homies on their landline and having to remember their numbers. Hey, sorry, Auntie, is Edric there? Can I speak to him? I need help with the homework.
Phone numbers. I mean, you just don't have to remember.
Yeah, no one remembers phone numbers anymore. And I used to remember a bunch of phone numbers.
Dude, like now, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't think numbers will go away, but at the same time, like you could just replace them now with like codes or something.
Emails,
you don't even need like 9-digit numbers anymore, or what is it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-digit numbers. Alex, I'm thinking about mine. What do you have anything that you miss from the 90s? Something you miss?
Shows. It could be shows.
Again, this is something that's not around anymore.
Something that's not.
I miss it because it's not around.
Yeah, it's not around.
Okay. I have one that's very funny.
Yeah,
I'm missing Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, JTT. Pulled him from the gutter.
That's great.
Shout out to Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Funny.
How many times did he entertain us when we were kids?
I mean, he was in everything, man. Like
he was in everything.
He was Simba. He was young Simba. He was in Home Improvement. He was in the Christmas movie. Yeah.
But wasn't he in Huckleberry Finn or something?
He was like Huckleberry Finn or something.
Yeah. He was everything.
Dude, he was in Home Alone. He was the middle brother in Home Alone, right?
No,
sorry, not Home Alone. Sorry, Home Improvement. I'm sorry, it's a big difference. Tim Allen, what? Okay. No one knows what happened to the other two brothers, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas Everyone knows that guy took off, and he don't have to work no more. I'm sure all the money he made in the 90s.
No. Yeah,
I'm sure he's still getting money from Home Improvement.
Right.
Wild America. Do you remember that movie? Yes. I just saw the poster. I'm like, oh my God, Wild America.
About like the first documentary.
That's
like
amazing.
Wildlife documentary.
I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's a super underrated Christmas movie, by the way.
Tom and Huck. I don't think I've seen I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
I remember seeing the trailers and stuff, but I don't remember watching it. That's a good movie.
Like one of the streaming services. One of the 40.
You're right, though. This dude was it. He was Pinocchio. The Adventures of Pinocchio. He played the live version. Like when he became a boy.
He was Pinocchio?
He played Pinocchio. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So that's mine. That's mine.
That's amazing.
That's a good one. That's a good pull.
That's a really good one.
Ed, you still got nothing?
Because I got something that I miss.
I do. I have something else, but this is kind of
keep going.
Okay. Remember the Ninja Turtle movies?
Yeah, of course.
They had they don't do those anymore. The guys don't pull on the suits under there.
Yeah,
get real they're all animated now.
Yeah.
They're practical. Before they had real martial artists. Me being a martial artist, that's a big.
Actually,
plus for me. I like having the real guys. Like even though they're like the suits got progressively worse. I don't know what happened. If you watch it back, each movie makes the suit worse and worse, and then by the last one, they look like they're basketballs. I don't know on their face, but again, besides the point. The action scenes, they were fighting in there, and they didn't have no CGI.
They couldn't. They had no safety net.
They had to get real guys whooping
no safety net
in there, which was great.
Everything had to be on point. The costume had to work. It couldn't rip. You had to have people actually fighting.
Yeah, it was like a time
wide shots.
We had enough special effects to make it look cool, but the action still had to be there. You know, you're not able to slack off on the action scenes.
Right.
Yeah,
because we're not going to be able to edit this. In the background as much.
Was it the second one that had the Vanilla Ice on? Go Ninja.
Oh yes.
Go
Ninja, go Ninja. That's Edric. That's who Edric missed from the 90s. Vanilla Ice.
Jesus Christ. Anybody miss Vanilla Ice? Get out of here.
Oh, you can talk music.
Well, I actually do have something I missed, and I mentioned this in the last podcast. This is something I always talk about because I legitimately miss it, and that is again not having it. Kind of ties into yours, but trailers. Like not being so easily available.
Oh, one of my favorite have to watch the trailers.
Where it's just
that's true. Yeah,
like one of my favorite things of all time was going into a movie early, watching the trailers because you didn't know what the fuck you were going to get. So you could get some bullshit movies, or you could see like I said, SpiderMan 2, and you had no clue was happening. You had no clue that any of these movies were happening, and you just sat there going like, "Holy shit!" Like as a kid, you just went fucking bonkers.
Pre-YouTube was wild.
To my heart, I miss that moment. I'll never have it again. And it's just like that. I miss that so much.
There's some people that can avoid it still somehow, some way.
Good Lord. Good job.
When we were watching when we were watching Doctor Strange last week and the Avatar trailer came out, people were like, "Oh, it's Avatar."
That was me. I had no idea.
All right. Because again, we didn't get it beforehand.
Ed was even telling me I didn't see the only. Going back to Strange again, the only preview I saw was the trailer for Strange. I avoided everything except the trailer. So then the movie was everything was great, inspiring to me, or amazing to me. I didn't see no extra content that would have made me feel. Even my wife was telling me, "Don't talk to Edric about it," because I have a tendency. I always hit him up "Hey, I'm about to watch this. What you think? Yada yada." And she's like, "Don't get his opinion. I want to hear your opinion alone."
I love it. So good job. Yeah. No,
sometimes they have to do that with certain movies.
But here's the thing too, is that it doesn't even matter if it's not even the trailer. They always announce the movies now. You just even know it's coming.
Well, you guys are in the industry too, so you guys. I don't hear that as much.
But again, from MCU, they literally released the slates for 5 years. It's coming way down the line. And I just wish. See, I wish they would not.
I've glanced at it. I haven't I try again. I try. I'm just trying to keep as much of it fresh when I see it, but I'm the type though. I don't mind. I'm not going to be ruined if I see a spoiler or not. But again, you try to have that innocence when you walk in to just kind of absorb everything.
All I'll say to this is that every time I've walked into a movie not knowing almost anything about it, I've always loved it.
Right.
I think I've always had a better experience because again,
goes back to expectations.
You know nothing. You know
no
expectations. No expectations. Zero expectations.
Right.
And it typically, I think, makes for a better experience, even if the movie's just okay. Because it's just part of that. It's part of that discovery, right? You're just you're engaged in that way. I think was part of the experience.
Everywhere was like that for me.
Yeah,
sure, right. Right.
Here's another thing. Maybe I don't know how you guys feel. So you guys obviously both grew up in Daly City. Yeah. Here in El Paso, we had at the time like SpiderMan. The first SpiderMan was coming out, or the Phantom Menace. I think there was only like 2 theaters here in El Paso.
Sears.
So, 2 theaters.
Theaters. I'm about to say okay. Theaters.
Sears.
You
said shopping
Sears.
center.
Sears shopping. You only had 2 and okay. So theaters. Go ahead.
You sound so
I think there
offended.
were only 2 Sears also, but that's irrelevant.
You don't need more than 2 Sears.
Yeah, you only need 1, to be honest.
So like you would have to, it wasn't reserved seating. So
it was first come first serve.
You in line for like I remember being in line for SpiderMan. My poor mom had to be like stuck there with me and my sister, I think, for SpiderMan for like 2 to 3 hours before the movie, and then you would run to get your seats. Do you guys miss that?
Remember that?
Right.
Oh,
Movie.
do I miss that? Hell no.
Yeah.
Movie hopping.
That's a great point. I forgot about that.
Actually,
Hell no,
I do remember those days significantly, and it is one of those things there. Those were the days you can sit in that theater for all day, or hop to the next theater, no problem.
I actually never did the theater hopping thing, but
theater hopping thing back in the day was no problem. There was no assigned seating, so you can just go wherever you wanted, and until someone says, "Hey, you've been here like since 7 a.m. today. It's 7 p.m. now. And get out of here."
Yeah.
But some guys would watch 4 or 5 movies a day. Pat, our old homie, would do that all the time. So
I can imagine someone movie hopping would miss that. That's for sure.
But here's another thing, transitioning into stuff that you kind of miss but not really miss: CDs. Like CDs, like
hold on
CDs all the time. Physical hard copies of like DVDs.
I still collect those.
CDs. Yes and no. Because
exactly. That's what he said. Yes and no.
I will fight you to this day. Like CD quality music is still better than the MP3
it is.
It's why I still get them.
It's the AIFF, the WAV file.
Yeah, the WAV file, baby.
Full quality.
Full lossless.
Yeah, that's why it has that weight to it. You need to have a little weight on it. But the CD quality is, at one point, it was distinct. Like CD versus MP3, like Plus, you were getting it off LimeWire, all that stuff. You're getting
you were getting a recording.
You're
of a
recording
radio.
the CD from the CD onto your little like.
Don't know what you guys talking about. We never did that. Nope.
Sorry. I heard stories of people do this. That's what I meant to say.
Other friends.
I've heard stories of people doing
people
this.
I absolutely hate.
Yeah,
those are the only people I hate ever did that.
Yeah, those criminals over there. So those days of having to sift through those big binders of CDs, the artwork was cool. They had the covers, they had some of it, and sometimes people had like really nice designs in their house with like the CDs, like
I tried.
Wall. So those things were cool, but moving those motherfuckers, like looking for the CD that when you want it, that was.
Well, I'll build on that. CD DVDs, right? Like I have a whole tub outside right here of. I took out all the CDs from their cases. I took out all the artwork from the cases,
and it's still like 5 feet
and
tall.
I have like 3 boxes full of that right there. And to be honest, it's the same thing. Yeah, you're right. Like I miss it, but I also don't because goddamn, that's so freaking hard to move around and to deal with. It's so difficult.
Why do you still have it? Why don't you just put them in storage?
I'm a collector, bro. I just try not to have storage. I don't want to pay for storage, but
Craig's. If we do a garage sale, it'd be wild. But
does your car even have a? Oh my gosh! If Ed does a garage sale, like if he ever moves, he's gonna be a millionaire.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Out of here.
Me and you will take a percent of the commission, Alex.
Yeah, exactly.
I can buy a house in San Francisco with what I have. That's so true.
Do your cars have CD players? Mine does.
Yes,
they still do.
Mine still does.
Mine still does.
My car's 2015.
Mine's 2016. So
I think they're starting to go away with them though. They're starting to fade out.
Mine's a 2017, and it doesn't have a CD player.
Oh, see again.
Yeah.
No, the only
I'm not surprised by that. Yeah.
It's hard. Like so those things would like be hit or miss sometimes back in the day. Remember, they'd be skipping all the time. You bump it, it's you go into the next song.
That's the thing. Like you had this like inherent fear of when you dropped a CD. Like
oh yeah, it's over.
It's a wrap.
It's done. It's over. I gotta buy another one.
Yeah.
Imagine
that for a game where you paid $50 for one too.
Oh,
right. That's fucking expensive.
Games, dude. No way.
Yeah.
No. In its sleeve. Don't even mess with it. Dude, look.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the name of the store? Sam something.
What?
Sam
The
Goody.
place where was it Sam Goody, right? You have to go back Sam Goody and get another one.
Goody. I never actually went there.
I'm sure you did once, but
No, like once, but I never like really went there. You know, to shop
I mean,
that
it's
often.
before our time, but imagine
A
the
little bit.
guys who collect records. I mean, I can't even begin to fathom records.
No.
Like
I know.
just, damn,
I have a record
like, you know,
player. Yeah, those are
before our time, CDs were 90s.
But the quality on those are arguably even better.
But again,
than
that one you
CD.
don't, you
God
can't
damn,
even get
they're
near.
so
Don't
good.
get back up. Don't touch that thing. You know,
We still got vinyl stores though.
you need enough space for that.
What's funny is that
Barely.
vinyl stores have always still been a thing. I don't know if like CD stores will like come back. I mean, we have Amoeba, but and like FY, but like FY stores like FYE are like gone. Like you don't really
No.
see those anymore.
No, CD
like-
stores are dead, man.
Yeah,
No way.
but now you have vinyl stores back again, which is like I wonder
Because
if like that will
I feel
come
like-
back around again.
They have to start remaking CD players for that to happen. You
Yeah,
know?
I guess. Well, but I mean, like you have all-in-ones now too. Like if like an Xbox can play almost anything now or whatever, and I don't know what else.
Oh,
There's other things that
how
just
can we
play
forget?
everything. So
How could we forget the
Laptop.
N64?
wait, as what? As something you missed,
Stuff
but not really.
I missed from the 90s. N64.
Oh, okay.
What else? Is
I figured you were gonna
PS1.
ask if there was game systems. Our game systems from the 90s. Oh,
That is
Game systems from the 90s.
No, that is
Games in the
90s.
90s was
That is
was
90s. That
was
is
so
90s.
fun.
yeah.
Mario Party.
your best game of all time. I already know. SpongeBob
Oh,
SquarePants on the PS2.
You picked SpongeBob. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play the
Still
game.
laughing.
You did.
So
Okay.
much fun.
That was yeah, dude. N64 is 1996. Holy shit!
96. 96.
Damn, I thought that was later. I don't know why. That felt like later than that. N64. Why don't we move?
Yeah.
What,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
no,
go
no. I was gonna say you want to. Let's move on to some movies from the 90s.
There you go. That's what I knew that was gonna be a heavy one. So
Some favies.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
go
Some
ahead.
things that you loved. I'm gonna start with one that I can't like get enough of, and that's Mrs. Doubtfire. Like that's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
So it's so sad, but
And it's Robin Williams.
so heartwarming
Yeah.
at the same time.
It's a great freaking movie. Like
Fun
it's
fact, I
funny
didn't
as
watch
shit.
that. I didn't
Uh-huh.
watch that movie till I was like 26.
Oh,
No
really?
way.
I
Seriously?
missed it. Yeah.
I'm dead surprised you didn't watch that movie.
Yeah,
Wow.
I missed it. And I loved it now. I love it now. I'll watch it.
Dude,
anytime
it's a
now.
freaking
Hilarious.
great movie, man.
Yeah.
That's a
It's
freaking
fucking
awesome movie.
Funny.
It's funny,
Again,
makes you cry.
real
It does
quick,
everything for
Again,
you.
shout out to Matthew Lawrence.
Yes, yeah, he's in it.
that too.
Matilda's in it. Like
It's
I tell you,
so
the
good.
Lawrence brothers own the
tall girl
90s.
that nobody knows. Like, where's that tall girl from though? She was in another movie.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I don't say the tall girl. She's the oldest, so she's taller. But
Okay.
I forget her name. But
Dude,
I know Matilda and-
007 was in that movie.
Pierce Brosnan's in the movie. Come on,
Pierce
it's a great
Brosnan
movie,
was the-
dude.
Was in that movie, and he wasn't even a bad guy. Robin Williams was just salty. Or what's
Yeah.
Miss Doubtfire was just salty all the time.
Yeah, of course. I think he's trying to take over his family. Yeah, dude, that movie was so good. Right? Fucking Pierce Brosnan. It breaks into musical half the
It's in
time.
San Francisco, so we
It's
had
in SF. It's in
big
SF,
connection,
our
yeah,
hometown. Like,
in the
come
Bay Area,
on,
so we were
man.
big on that. That's why we watched it like so early. We had to watch it. Like,
Yeah.
it's in San Francisco. Like, you better watch this.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to you next because and don't bring up 99 because that's too easy for now. We'll bring up 99 soon, but some from another. Oh, you have to go.
No, just touch the thing.
Oh, the thing. Okay,
Okay. So I can't say any movies from 99. That's
not yet because we're gonna get to 99 because that's
You can
almost
say
too
99. You
easy.
say whatever you want.
That's almost too easy. We gotta go. 99 deserves a whole thing after itself.
So a movie that I can just. Oh,
Okay, I'm already gonna
Tremors.
guess what it is. Holy shit, Tremors! What a good
came out
pull.
in 1990. I saw it probably way too young.
Yeah,
But
I haven't even watched Tremors.
That's it.
What's Tremors?
It's the movie about these. Oh, were they? They're not aliens. They're just like
They're like prehistoric worms that are in the
prehistoric
ground.
worms.
It's like a horror comedy with Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward.
Kevin
R.I.P.
Bacon,
Fred
dude.
Ward. He died yesterday.
Oh my god, he was in that movie. Oh, he was in that. Oh shit! What a
Yeah.
pull. Yeah,
Yes.
R.I.P. Man.
Tremors. I don't.
And it had a bajillion sequels. But anyways,
Yeah.
Alex, keep going.
But yeah, it's just this like hilariously stupid,
It's a great movie.
fun movie. I can just watch it all the time. Like,
And so these things like come from underneath, from the ground, and like they
Yeah.
cause tremors. This is why they call it tremors. And like, yeah,
And
it's just a horror film where they come up, they try to eat the people, and it's just, and it's cast Kevin Bacon.
town and stuff. Yeah, and it's like,
So
I
like, how can
quote
you?
it all the time? Like, stupid son of a bitch, knock himself
Yeah.
out.
My mom
Oh,
loved that
yes.
movie. My mom
Dude.
loved Tremors a lot. I don't know why she
Yeah.
did. She doesn't usually love movies like
Love
that.
that movie.
But
All right.
that's a good movie. It's a good one. It's a good pull.
You know
Good
what you
pull.
got, man?
Dude, we were talking about this yesterday. For some reason, me and my sister got freaking obsessed with Little Rascals for a long time. Little Rascals, we would
great movie.
renew that subscription or the what do you call it? The rental from Blockbuster like for like a month or something like that. We just kept watching it every day after school. We were laughing so much at that damn movie. And you know, that was what, 93 it came out.
I want to say 3 or 4.
It was early 93. In the 90s. But we were like, I think probably like 7 or 8 when we watched it for the first time. We were just having so much fun watching that because it was just seeing those kid actors like do all that adult stuff, and then it was just so hilarious to see.
It's iconic, man. Like people still, people still say the alfalfa hair. Like when you have alfalfa hair.
Yeah, exactly. Alfalfa hair.
They say you have alfalfa hair. Like that's nuts, man. And then I got $1. I mean, that's just great.
Yeah, all those guys, those kids were crazy talented. But that was crazy.
They were.
Yeah, those kids.
Imagine being the director on that film.
Yeah.
Like to have directed that group of kids must have been freaking difficult.
Former kindergarten teachers.
Because these are not like teenager, like these are like younger kids. These are like just at the precipice of like 7, like
almost toddlers.
Cognizant reasoning. Like that must have been so difficult.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how hard that was to do.
Shit was funny though. I mean,
so good.
Yeah,
great writing, great characters.
The race scene at the end. I always wanted to drive a race car like that.
The race scene.
They built their own car at the end. I'm like, damn, these guys are racing.
Didn't he like lose the steering wheel and he had to like he got a new steering wheel or something like that?
It was crazy. They had to repair. They had to.
It caught on fire or something, and they had to use like the fire extinguisher to put out the fire or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. So things that
some great action movie
things that
for kids.
Parents saw them doing, they'd be outraged now.
I'm sure there was like a sequel to that nobody cared about, right, or something. That must have been.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Movie wise, okay. Another
great pull. I like that one.
The other movies, like Disney had the big hit. I mean, Lion King was just like nonstop in our house. Lion King was just nonstop.
In the 90s, that was their comeback. You know, that was like,
they owned it.
Yeah. Aladdin.
Did Aladdin come out? Yeah,
Aladdin. Yes, Aladdin
that's a huge segment on its own. That 90s era of Disney movies. Holy snap!
Well, nobody else was doing it. That's the thing. They had no competition either.
Beauty and Beast. They had Lion King, Aladdin, Hercules, big hitter. Tarzan.
Wait, is that 90s?
Tarzan, 99, I think, or 2000, maybe 2000. Double check. Did I do a foul and pull up 2000?
Dude, the soundtrack on Tarzan is the best. 99 made the cut. We're about to get into 99 soon because Alex.
I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure those like 90s Disney cartoons saved the company. Like they were on the precipice of being like bankrupt, I think.
What was in the 80s in Disney? Like, was there anything in the 80s?
I was going to look that up. Well, there was for sure, but
I'm not really sure. No.
I'm not sure 100% what they were.
Hey, but check this out. I didn't know this movie was Disney. The Prince of Egypt was Disney movie.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
No, that's a DreamWorks movie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense because I'm looking at it right
1991.
now.
Okay,
whatever. But I don't know. I that's what I thought. It was like DreamWorks or something else. But I'm looking up on Google. It's pulling up. Oh, Mulan came out in the 90s. The good Mulan.
Oh, Mulan.
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Don't watch the new one.
Pocahontas. Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, huge.
90s movie.
89. That's why my sister loves that movie. 89. She was born in 89. Okay.
89.
That was a big hitter too.
We did a whole thing on Disney in the 90s.
Dude, that time plus all the merch, the Happy Meals, you get all the
Happy Meals.
Happy Meal toys. They don't do them like they used to. The Happy Meal toys. They used to have, so that's another thing. They don't have those anymore. No Happy Meal commercials anymore.
They don't do they still do toys? I don't know.
They do, but going back to things you miss, like those are
collectibles too.
Those movie partnerships, yeah. Like, they can get from McDonald's. I remember like Batman Forever coming out, and like, they had like mugs that you could get that had like
mugs
and shit.
Wow. The cups. They had the cups. They had the Monopoly theme as well on it. So
Monopoly. Oh, they still do
McDonald's Monopoly. So those were good times.
Yeah, those are.
That's something that's fallen off. All right, what else we got for movies before we go to 99?
I mean, there's so many in 99 though. That's the thing. I have to throw in a Goofy movie like that.
Oh,
a troll.
I thought you're going to throw a goof like a movie that's goofy. And then if you're from the 90s, you know a Goofy movie. Is the name of the movie
is just one of the greatest animated movies ever made. And just the soundtrack.
That was awesome.
The best. I have Underwear, Powerline. It's just awesome.
Tevin Campbell at the end.
Kevin Campbell.
Eye to Eye. Yeah, Eye to Eye.
That was a good one.
That's a fantastic movie.
Oh God, it's so good. I love that movie. That's the one that
Disney. I mean, you all hit it out the park in the
Disney,
90s.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, Disney again. Disney with the fire, but that's still kind of underrated too, though. Like people don't really bring that up a lot.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's so new. It had a sequel.
Okay,
so it was,
Alex, you're dying to pull out this
There's
one
so
movie.
many,
What is it?
Or not one, maybe. I'm waiting for the 99, but
this dude. So he has a whole thing about 99 is probably the greatest year in movie history.
You know, I can see why.
I think it is the greatest year in movie history.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my favorite movie came out in 99 was The Mummy.
Yep.
But,
okay.
With Brendan Fraser, but also you got The Matrix. You got Phantom Menace, the first of the.
Oh man.
People love it or hate it.
Right. It made an impact.
It was an event. It was definitely an event, though.
And what else came out? I think Lake Placid came out, which was a fun movie.
That's an interesting pull on that one.
So
there's so much. There's some like
10 Things I Hate About You.
That's a good one.
That's a good movie.
Toy
Story 2.
Toy Story 2. She's
Big
all that. Had,
Daddy.
like, oh my God.
American Beauty. American Beauty.
Which we don't talk about that guy anymore. But,
Sleepy Hollow, The Green Mile, and Fight Club.
Fight Club.
Okay.
All in 99.
Huge. She's all that. Notting Hill. The Black Witch. The Blair Witch Project. I don't know why I read that wrong. Sorry.
Dude,
Blue. Yeah. Oh, one of my favorite, just like kind of B comedies of all time, Blue Streak. I don't know if anybody else has watched Blue Streak. That is one of the freaking funniest freaking movies. Martin Lawrence and Luke Wilson. So freaking funny. I freaking love that movie. So Dave Chappelle's in that movie.
Half Baked was it in the 90s too?
Deep Blue Sea came out in 99. This is insane, dude.
99 was a good year. 99. Everyone was waiting for that 2000 cusp because no one knew if they were going to survive past 2000. Y2K.
I thought we were going to die. Dude, remember is that what happened? Hollywood was just like, we got to
go for it. Out everything right now.
Let's have a world where Eyes Wide Shut came alongside Austin Powers' The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Spy Who Shagged Me was underrated. That's a good movie. But again, 99, they didn't know.
They didn't know if we were going to survive.
They were stocking up.
Iron Giant came out in 1999.
Yeah.
Oh my
God. It's a long list. Okay. You have to pick a few that you really just would watch
in 99 or 90
from the 99 list. What's the most? What's the biggest one for you?
It's The Mummy. Yeah. The Mummy and The Matrix. Like both are just not. They're just not non-negotiable.
It's negotiable for me because it's Star Wars for me. That's the significance
episode
of
1.
it.
Yeah.
You know, as a 9-year-old with no taste, though,
I totally get it.
Watching it now, I can't stand to watch the damn movie until I just have to fast forward to the end fight scene with the lightsaber.
I know. As a kid, I also don't remember hating that movie at all. I thought it was fine. I was like, okay, that's good.
The whole time they were just waiting for that lightsaber.
You know, I just want to see Star Wars. When I was 8 years old.
That scene is still. I said this a few episodes ago. That's still the greatest lightsaber battle ever.
Duel of Fates. Yeah.
Iconic. Me and Ed, we would try to replicate that fight scene several times with toy lightsabers, and the how incredibly difficult. To use that double lightsaber without killing yourself.
I remember.
You know, trying.
Don't
touch the red.
I had a mobile DVD player, and it had this great A and B repeat function on it, where you could mark one endpoint and mark an endpoint in any part of the movie, and it would just keep repeating that part. I don't think they do that anymore on any device.
DVD players would be fancy,
but we did that one time with Phantom Menace, and we were just replaying that scene over and over, trying to choreograph get the freaking moves down because it was so cool. That move that freaking Obi-Wan does, the behind the back and then the front.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, dog.
Dude,
that's fucking sick.
But 99. I mean, in its essence, the whole movie thing. I remember just every month there was a big news about a movie but Mummy hits box office record, Matrix box office record,
Matrix,
Star Wars box office record.
Fight Club might be also non-negotiable. That's freak. I mean,
Fight Club. Yeah, if we're going into the more mature scheme, Fight Club.
God damn.
My God, I have to tribute. Hot take. Go ahead.
You fucking hate Fight Club?
I don't like Fight Club.
You fucker.
Oh man,
you fucker.
How you not like Fight Club, Alex?
It's one of Fincher's films to me.
Get the freak out of here, Alex.
When did you watch Fight Club?
More of a when?
Yeah, when did you watch it?
I don't know.
Maybe you gotta give it You got to give another shot, maybe. Okay.
Oh my God, Alex!
One more time.
I'm dead surprised.
I'm like, we can have this talk later. We need to have a
video on that.
Popular movies we hate.
Popular movies we hate. Oh man, from the 90s.
Dark Phoenix. No.
Popular movies from the 90s that you hate.
90s, yeah.
I said popular movies, Ed.
I'm just kidding.
Dude,
I was just saying, like for future stuff, we could talk about that.
Fight Club. We got to circle back to that. Yeah, the Fight Club
we'll
issue.
have to come back to that. Yeah.
What's the issue with well, that's another one. Like talk about.
That's a really good one.
Action scenes. Okay, so no, here's what I want. It's a good segue. What's your favorite action movies from the 90s? Action specific.
Terminator 2.
Action movies. Okay, Terminator 2.
True Lies.
True
All
Lies
James Cameron movies. Because they're the best. They're the best. I would also put. Mummy action movie.
Mummy,
also,
yeah,
and that had some great action. It did.
I'm gonna have to pull one.
What?
Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh my boy! Yes.
That's gotta be
yes.
Rumble in the Bronx.
My dog.
Man, dude, you don't sleep on Jackie Chan.
You don't
in the
sleep
90s.
on Jackie Chan.
His onesie.
Yeah, dude, that was the first time I remember sitting in my cousin's
He
living
did look
room.
like a baby, like straight up like a baby.
My cousin sitting me and he's like, "You're not gonna believe this guy when you watch him." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
You're so right.
Watch him. I can't believe this guy. I'm like, what the hell?
He also did. He did a bunch of
Rush
stuff.
Hour was in the 90s.
Rush Hour was in the 90s.
Rush Hour was in the
90s.
But like
we can't forget Rush
Super
Hour.
Cop, Project A. Those were like maybe not Project A, but like Super Cop.
Ed had even more Jackie Chan.
I had a bunch of Jackie
knowledge
Chan shit
because his dad loved Jackie Chan.
Gorgeous.
Everyone,
No,
how could
gorgeous
you not
wasn't.
love Jackie Chan? Everyone's got to love Jackie Chan.
How do you hate Jackie Chan? I
Yeah.
just don't understand how you could hate.
But
Jackie
that
Chan.
Rumble in the Bronx was my first introduction to him.
That was his first American movie. Yes, yeah.
That little kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
The hot sister. Oh, and then
dude, that sister was hot, dude. That sister was freaking
Jackie Chan was a player back then. Little
It's
pimpin'
true.
boy from
That's
China
true.
coming with the onesie, walking around the Bronx.
Onesie. Oh
I
man.
don't want trouble.
I want no trouble. I want no trouble. No trouble.
And then he proceeds to whoop their ass
Whoops.
in
Yeah,
the
all of
most
them.
epic ways of all time.
All 30 or 40 of them in one
He
time.
takes an absolute beating in that movie.
He does. Yeah.
Remember, he breaks his foot in that movie. They just don't make him like Jackie Chan anymore. At the end credits, he's wearing a shoe that looks like he's wearing a sleeve over his cast that looks like a shoe, and he's running around the damn bus. Or
they
something
painted
like
it. They had to paint it to
a
look
damn
like his
cast.
shoe.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
any
that-
other
that
person would
was
be
like-
like, "Fuck that! I'm not gonna do this
Yeah.
movie." He fucking got up back on his feet, fucking jumped from whatever the bridge
Right.
foot thing onto a moving.
Right.
Oh my god,
The
dude.
hoverboard thing. It was like
the hover thing. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, the end of that movie, he gets that freaking like what is it, a Ferrari or something, and jabs a freaking long ass sword at the end of it and rams it into the side of the. I'm like, that's fucking badass.
Okay.
That's some Akira shit.
Jackie
right there.
Jackie gets a special tribute on this
badass.
one. Jackie, man,
Yeah,
90s,
I agree.
90s,
Jackie
90s
in the 90s
so
for
special.
sure.
Jackie in the 90s,
Yeah,
another one.
Jackie was the
Disney 90s, Jackie 90s. That's gold. Okay,
And then Rush Hour. Rush Hour is fucking
Rush Hour,
amazing.
yeah, exactly.
I just watched
Chris
Rush Hour
Tucker,
2
that
the other
message,
day.
Chris Tucker, game changer for all of us culturally. The the bridge between, even for us as Asian Americans, the bridge between Asians and the American culture.
Oh,
just
yeah.
help bridge that gap a little bit better. So
I
everyone
agree with
understood.
that. I absolutely agree.
That's
with that.
where people don't actually have that understanding of the significance for a lot of Asian Americans I saw, because like they
exactly.
how many times
Thank you.
will you reference, oh look, it's Rush Hour, when there's a black guy and an Asian guy
Yes.
standing next to each other?
Yeah.
Like they always like, that's the Rush Hour pair. I've heard it so many times when I used to like growing up.
It's a perfect example too of like when people when nowadays people say like, oh, we didn't have representation before. I'm like, well, we did. It's
Yeah, Jackie.
it's not super strong, but we did. Like I grew up with a bunch of them.
I was fine with Jackie, like being
Come
a
on,
representative, because damn right, this guy was whooping everyone's
And
ass.
someone brought up that like Rush Hour 2 might be like possibly problematic today, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Damn right, I hope it's
I
problematic.
don't think so.
It was it's a good one.
Everything's problematic.
I know everything's
No.
problematic, but I just I
Little
don't think-
Mermaid
Rush
would be
Hour. How is that
problematic today.
problematic?
You can't have Little Mermaid out. This little teenage girl wearing a little bikini top and all that stuff. Like that could be looked at
Well,
a certain way too.
I don't know. They definitely have
all
movies
these
like that.
all the stuff from the 90s, it gets a pass though, because it's the past. Honestly,
Holy
see, third time. I told you, Alex, we're getting too caught up with the conversation. I can't.
He told
keep
you
up
to
with
press the button.
Yeah, it's the third
I'm
time.
excited. There's 3 of us here now.
Okay,
There's
so
a lot happening.
action
Wrap
movies.
it.
Last shout outs for action movies. Anything else?
I mean, those are the big ones. I mean,
I gotta pull
Action
one that I
movies.
just thought of.
Okay.
Early 90s, Reservoir Dogs. That was my
fuck
shit.
yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
that
dude.
is early 90s.
92.
Hell yeah.
92.
Pulp Fiction. not
Mr.
a
Brown,
action movie, but
Mr.
Not an
Pulp
action
Fiction.
movie.
not an action movie. Pulp Fiction, dude.
I mean,
Holy
kind of, yeah.
crap, come on.
What else was it?
The Fifth Element.
Oh, okay.
It's good. Speed, great action movie.
Speed.
Mission Impossible 1.
Oh, Mission Impossible. That's your thing. Every time you love
Maybe.
Tom Cruise.
I mean, the
I
bullet
like
train,
the first one.
the bullet train sequence is amazing, though.
Yeah.
Rewatch that bullet train sequence today. Holds up beautifully.
Okay.
It's an incredible sequence. It's so good. Yeah. Other than that, Armageddon. I don't know. No. The Rock. Men in Black. 97.
Oh yeah, Men in Black. Will.
Yeah.
Training Day. Was Training Day 90s?
No, I think that's 2001.
How about no, Will did Independence Day in the 90s.
Independence Day? Yeah.
Independence Day. Big. Will had a big in the 90s.
Guys,
Oh my
Power
gosh.
Rangers the movie.
Power Rangers the movie. Yep.
95.
Yep. Definitely.
Okay.
That was a big one.
It's a good dumb kid movie. Oh, here. Speaking of movies that everyone hates, but I honestly like. Or no, what was the opposite? Huh? That you were saying people or movie
the more you
movies
watch,
where
the
people
more you-
like it and but you like it. Is that what was that your thingy?
No, sorry, I got caught up looking something up. True Lies is getting a TV reboot.
Whoa.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
I just looked up True Lies because I wondered what year it came out, and it says True Lies reboot picked up to series.
Starring who?
Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, starring. So the guy they cast as the lead, Steve Howey, he's actually very funny. I've never seen him in an action role,
Steve.
but I'm intrigued.
He plays the dude.
He plays Schwarzenegger's role. Yeah.
True
I don't
Lies
know
was
what
a good movie. I did
don't know
enjoy
what
that a
this
lot.
guy
So I'm not opposed to checking out the series, but
Is epic. I mean, we'll see how it is. But
I mean,
everything
it's
that
a
James
little-
Cameron like pushes to other people,
I think
never does
series
well,
after
typically.
movies, it's like, who's done it right?
I was a big fan of the Lethal Weapon series until it
I love Lethal Weapon. Yeah.
Derailed.
it went downhill because I guess one of the stars went crazy. Anyway, what were
I
we talking
remember
about?
enjoying Lethal Weapon 4 though.
Okay, that's a good list. I mean,
I was gonna pull one thing that
Go
this is a movie that everyone universally hates, but I honestly I like it. Wild Wild West, 1999. Yeah, I don't know. I will fight for that movie. I like watching that movie. I don't think it's a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's a stupid movie.
I like the
But
song.
it's a good stupid movie.
Wild Wild
Kevin
West.
Klein's great. It's Will
Yeah.
Smith.
The song is better than the movie.
What was
although the
Shanghai
song is great.
Nights?
No, that's 2000 probably.
Yeah.
That's after
four.
Rush Hour 2. After Rush Hour 2.
Yeah, Rush Hour 2 was
Rush Hour
2001.
Okay.
But yeah, Rush Hour is great. That's iconic now too. Oh, I forgot Jurassic Park is an obvious one too.
Jurassic Park's huge.
Early
Yeah,
90s.
we haven't mentioned that.
It's huge. There's so
many,
much.
man.
90s was such a
Yeah.
powerhouse. Again, I think just the overall scheme of it is like the 90s had such a special
So, like-
time when we were still getting to that point where we couldn't make everything CGI, but it was getting to that point where it's starting to look more real. And like looking back on it now, it's terrible. Like looks like a cardboard cutout sometimes with some of the scenes.
Depends on the movie.
Depends on the movie,
Some
right?
movies
Yeah.
age way better.
Right.
Yes,
Some of the
for
aged
sure.
really well. Some
T2
haven't.
still looks amazing.
What?
I saw it the
What?
other night. T2.
Okay.
T2.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
It
me?
still looks
Yeah.
amazing. It's insane.
Yeah. When you build those machines by hand instead of CGI. Oh my God.
Right.
It has a weight to them that you just can't get in CGI.
Some of them hold up.
Yeah,
To go off
especially in
Gino's
like Dark
point.
Fate.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I think it was like the last great decade of films before everything became about superheroes or everything's just so like, don't get me wrong, I love superheroes, but everything seems just so superhero heavy now.
You're right.
Yeah.
But let's do a special tribute
Kind of copying the format.
So real quick before I think probably like one of the last things soon is the superheroes in the 90s, the ones that because we talked about Spider-Man, X-Men,
Blade.
right?
Blade.
Right? Blade gets a special tribute.
Hell yeah.
Another one, when I came up with this idea, I just realized Deadpool debuted in the 90s.
He did.
The comic debuted in the 90s. That's another special thing. Like the 90s brought Deadpool and I think Cable was another superhero that came out in the 90s.
I didn't know
But
that.
the Deadpool comic didn't start till the 90s. So Deadpool came with our generation of, just not as a first time debuting in a movie or a show. It's his first time ever debuting on the scene of the Marvel scene.
I did not know that.
Yeah, 1990, I believe so. Deadpool debuted. You can probably look up the exact date, but so
that's crazy.
Superheroes were still on the it was on the up, but it wasn't quite there where people were taking it seriously. Blade was a exception because it was kind of dark. It had this kind of like feel of it being like this really.
It was dark.
Yeah, really like a zombie. Oh, sorry, not zombie. Of course.
Vampires.
Vampire theme, right? So it kind of like got a pass because no one really took superheroes seriously, except for like maybe Spider-Man and Batman. Superman.
Right? Could it be like a drama more?
There's
so
no Spider-Man
like
movies back then, and the crazy thing is that the Marvel scene only had Blade.
Also, with Blade was Spawn. Spawn came out, and that was very dark.
Dude,
that
Spawn,
was
and
very dark.
Marvel was super like, I don't know what they were doing with their the movie side of the things that they were planning, but it was all very like vampire, dark, underground.
Yeah. I didn't love that movie, but I will say there are some great shots, like with the cape. He's like flying down with the cape. Those were epic. If they just redid that today, it'd be even better. Like,
do they have a new Spawn now?
No,
they haven't.
No.
I think it's been like development hell for a long time. Yeah.
Okay.
What superhero?
Well, we got a new Blade
hell,
for sure, and we got a new.
We got Mahershala coming.
We may have see Spawn in the future.
Yeah.
Deadpool is super strong now. Deadpool is like probably one of the top favorites nowadays.
I actually feel like we're in a bit of a Deadpool lull. I feel like I should have saw him like a year or two ago now, but
when did Deadpool 2 go out?
They're waiting on it.
When did Deadpool 2 come out?
2018.
2018.
Yeah,
terrible.
2018. It's not a great
movie. I hated that movie.
I hate it. I wanted to walk out. I did. I really did.
I was offended.
Which movie again?
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
No, I watched it. I like
Cable.
I like Deadpool 2.
I hated that movie.
I remember Edric distinctly didn't like Deadpool 2, but I don't remember. You guys haven't done an episode on Deadpool 2.
We haven't yet.
Right?
No,
that's another.
But funny thing is, Deadpool 2's X-Force, whatever it's called, is basically the Illuminati and Doctor Strange.
True.
What do you mean?
True.
What do you
How
mean?
quickly they die.
Oh, yeah. In that sense.
They're useless, except for like one, like
They're
Domino.
useless. Yeah.
See, again, I don't like scenes like that.
Hey, Brad Pitt was the best cameo in that scene when he was the invisible guy and he gets shocked onto the thing.
It's weird it's weird to me that they actually brought him in just for that.
I mean, I don't know how much he needed to do.
Because honestly, I thought it was Photoshopped. I thought it looked fake in the funniest way. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was the point, is that it was just his Photoshopped face. But no, I learned it was actually him. He went to the studio and filmed that. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
It was
no
too
lines,
much Deadpool.
just a face.
Yeah. So they gave us a little break with Deadpool,
weird.
but he'll be back, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, dude, he's a big IP. The question right now is wondering if it's going to be R. I believe not, right? I think they've said they're going to dumb it down to PG-13.
So Deadpool
just got to do it.
Is technically as old as we are.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Same age.
I didn't know that. I mean, I kind of assumed all the superheroes that came out are like in the 80s or something.
Yeah, I mean, I would. There wasn't that many. All the good ones came out. I think 80s had really good like debuts of superheroes, like X-Men, all those Ninja Turtles. They debuted all those guys. In the 90s, they started picking up steam a lot.
Right.
But toward the tail end of like the 90s, there wasn't many new superheroes coming out.
Right.
They just said, all right, let's finally do movies and start focusing on using the storylines we have instead of creating new guys. Because it started getting, it's ridiculous how many characters and villains there are in the whole universe.
Well, this brings up a question that I want to ask you guys then. I mean, do you, to bring it to today, like, do you feel like we are going to have superhero fatigue, even as fans? Are you feeling
I mean,
it?
I'm 32. I haven't had it yet in all my life. So.
I'm the same way. And it's weird to me that we have a franchise that like is 28 movies deep, and then even more than that, DC too. And we just get superhero movies all the time and TV shows now. And I still feel like I'm not tired of it. But do you think we will? I guess maybe not, as long as it's good, I assume.
As long as it's good. Yeah.
Right, exactly. A story's a story, right? Everyone loves a good story. If it can resonate with you, if it's relatable,
matter what it is.
If the scenes aren't ridiculously like shown that it's like it would be like impossible. Like, I mean, there has to be some like it has to be grounded in reality. Of course, even though it's a superhero movie, it has to be grounded in some sort of reality that, all right, it can make relative sense.
Yeah.
But again, if it's a good story, if the acting's good, if it's funny and it's something that's going to pass the time, that's what they do. Movies are meant to be just in general good stories, so that we can enjoy, talk about, and have. And then it kind of goes back to like all themes, like how many rom-coms could we go through, how many dramas can we go through, how many. This is just
rom-coms with like the same freaking story over and over.
Same stories over and over, pretty much. Boy meets girl, girl meets boy. They don't
all
like
stories
each
are
other.
the same story over and over.
Yeah,
right.
Almost
It's around that same story
every single time.
if they do it right, like Alex said, if they do it right.
Details are a little different.
Yeah, I think if you start to expect it, you'll start looking for that. You start looking for problems in the movies when you could just enjoy it. Don't go looking for that time, like that time when it's gonna pass, because eventually I'm sure we'll be grown enough, we'll be past that time. Like who knows, maybe it's kind of like music, right? Like sometimes you get older, you can't relate to the new music these days.
True. I'm feeling that now.
It may turn to that with certain movie schemes or different genres.
Yeah,
but time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end it. Hope you guys.
Yeah, I think so, man. That was fun, guys. Appreciate you guys.
How long did we go for?
I think about 2 hours.
Hour 40.
Hour 40. Yeah.
Hour 40.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
Well,
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you coming in. We hope to have you back. We'll do more.
Let me know anytime you guys need me.
It's the start of our guests. This is great. This was fun. Yeah. Bring it back to the 90s, our 90s episode. Guys, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe on Spotify and on YouTube. Leave some comments. Got some fresh comments for the first time last week. That was fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna probably pull from that. If you guys have any suggestions for us for us to watch or talk about, leave it there and we'll get on that.
Leave it in the comments.
We're working on coming more places. We're in submission for Apple now and other places as well. So.
Oh really?
Nice, nice.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that was new news to me. I didn't know.
I forgot to tell you.
Let's go.
We should have started the show with that.
That's how we do it here at Pizza Time.
Okay.
Great communication. That's how we roll.
Communication over here at Pizza Time. Anyways, guys, again, thank you. G, thank you.
Thank you,
dude.
guys.
Alex, my dude,
Yes.
thank you. Enjoyed there in Texas.
Be back next week.
Tomorrow. And
See
then
y'all.
we'll see you next week. See you.
Yeah.